It's Wednesday, 28 August. Welcome to the PDB Afternoon Bulletin. I'm Mike Baker, your eyes and ears on the world stage. Let's get briefed. First, Israel has launched a major operation across a large portion of the northern part of the West Bank, targeting Iranian-linked terrorist infrastructure, as officials warn the Islamic regime is working to establish an eastern front against Israel in the region. Also, disturbing news out of Las Vegas, as we learned that a teenager accused of links to the Islamic State was building bombs in his room and was planning a terror attack on the city, possibly at a school. But first, our afternoon spotlight. Israeli military forces carried out multiple raids and airstrikes on militant targets across the West Bank overnight in what officials describe as their largest operation in the region in years. The IDF confirmed it had launched the counterterrorism operation early Wednesday morning in coordination with the Israel Security Agency in the northern portion of the West Bank. Officials said the strikes targeted Iranian-linked terrorist infrastructure in the Palestinian territory, where Iran has long smuggled in weapons to their various proxies, and that's according to a report from the Wall Street Journal. The IDF said they'd killed at least 9 militants during the air and ground assault, while they detained another 5 suspected militants in the cities of Jenin and Tulkarem. Palestinian health authorities said that 10 people were killed during the operation, while more than 20 were injured. According to a CNN report, the operation included drones, helicopters, bulldozers, military and security forces, 4 battalions of the Israel Border Police, and an elite unit of undercover troops. Israel has not yet disclosed troop levels or a timetable for its ongoing West Bank operation. A spokesman for the Israeli military noted that in the past year, Israel has seen over 150 shooting and explosive attacks originating from the West Bank. The spokesman said, quote, "We need to operate to remove immediate terror threats in real time," end quote. During their operations, the Israeli military seized control of several regional hospitals and established local checkpoints, noting that they did not want to give militants the chance to embed themselves in hospitals and turn them into conflict zones like Hamas did in Gaza. The operation is Israel's latest attempt to thwart suspected Iranian plans to establish a third front or theater of battle in the war, on top of the situation in Gaza and along Israel's northern border, of course, with Hezbollah militants in Lebanon. In recent weeks, the IDF has intensified their activity in the West Bank to combat the increasing threat. Foreign Minister Israel Katz commented that the strikes, quote, "thwart Islamic Iranian terrorist infrastructure," while warning of Iran's efforts to create an eastern front. Katz continued, quote, "We must deal with the threat just as we deal with the terrorist infrastructure in Gaza, including the temporary evacuation of Palestinian residents and whatever steps are required. This is a war for all terms and purposes, and we must win it," end quote. Now, Iran, over the years, has gone to great lengths to foment violence in the Palestinian territory. Iranian-backed militants have long been leveraging the proximity of Syria and Jordan to Israel to smuggle weapons to sympathizers in the West Bank. Israel has announced several seizures this year of Iranian-made weapons being smuggled into the West Bank through Jordan. In an incident in March, Israeli forces seized a massive quantity of advanced Iranian weaponry, including anti-tank mines, grenade launchers, fragmentation bombs, C4 explosives, and a wide assortment of firearms. Despite these efforts, officials suspect Iranian weapons continue to flow into the West Bank. We should note that Wednesday morning's operation comes in the wake of a suicide bombing in Tel Aviv last week that killed the bomber and injured a bystander. Officials had said the plot was devised from within the northern West Bank region. Violence by extremist settlers against Palestinians in the West Bank has also increased in recent weeks, further inflaming tensions. Coming up after the break, disturbing news out of Las Vegas, as we learn that a teenager accused of links to the Islamic State was building bombs in his room and was planning a terror attack on the city. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the Afternoon Bulletin. A 16-year-old Las Vegas resident was arrested on charges of planning a terror attack, authorities revealed on Tuesday. The suspect, radicalized online, allegedly constructed bombs and plotted to potentially target a local high school and possibly other locations in the city. In late November 2023, Las Vegas Metro Police initially arrested Joshua Robles as a juvenile following a tip-off that he was allegedly posting online in support of the Islamic State, or ISIS. The details of his arrest were kept confidential at the time due to his age. Earlier this month, Robles was certified as an adult, and he now faces terror-related charges. The charges include providing material support for terrorism and attempting to commit an act of terrorism. Police raided Robles' home on November 29, 2023, discovering components in his room that could be used to manufacture explosive devices similar to those used in the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing. Robles' online activity revealed posts related to terrorism and plans for, quote, lone wolf operations in Las Vegas. Evidence suggested he may have been planning an attack on 1 January 2024, according to documents obtained and reviewed earlier this week by the local outlet 8 News Now in Las Vegas. Robles was targeting locations within Clark County and possessed a floor plan map of a local high school, possibly indicating a potential target. Investigators also found ISIS and al-Qaeda propaganda, a handmade ISIS flag, and radicalization materials in his possession. Now, during his arrest, Robles attempted to downplay the seriousness of his actions, telling police that his online posts were meant to, quote, troll others, and that he had no intention of following through with an attack. However, clearly, the evidence gathered contradicted his claims, suggested that Robles' activities went beyond mere online bravado. Last week, Robles pled not guilty to charges, and a judge set bail at $10,000. The judge also ordered house arrest with electronic monitoring if Robles posted bail. Now, in response, Sheriff Kevin McHale unusually intervened in the judicial process. The sheriff argued that Robles, who had been recruited for ISIS and planned terrorist activities, posed a significant risk, yeah, that seems fair, and should not be eligible for house arrest. A district court judge subsequently increased bail to $1 million. Las Vegas Metro police lawyers added that, quote, Nevada is a presidential and senatorial battleground state. The lawyers said that rallies by both candidates ahead of the election, quote, present targets for terrorist attacks. The apparent thwarted terror plot in Las Vegas underscores an alarming trend that terrorist groups are increasingly exploiting both physical borders and digital platforms to infiltrate the U.S. Since the Biden administration took office, federal data shows a substantial rise in the number of individuals on the terror watch list who have illegally crossed the southern border. This obviously poses a significant challenge for Border Patrol and intelligence agencies, both online and on the ground. That, of course, well, is a statement of the obvious. And that, my friends, is the PDB Afternoon Bulletin for Wednesday, 28 August. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to me at pdb@thefirsttv.com. Now, as you've probably already heard from your friends and family, to listen to the show ad-free, become a premium member of the President's Daily Brief by visiting pdbpremium.com. I'm Mike Baker. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, stay informed, stay safe, stay cool.